Bwah, 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 bwah. Leonie Dawson refuses to be categorized. And today I want to talk to business owners about anti racism. I know some business owners really feel unsure about whether they should talk about Black Lives Matter and racism. I've been having many conversations with clients and business friends and just general peeps, really. Um, and I know people feel worried about saying the wrong thing or whether they should even say anything political at all. So I just wanted to give, like, I think it's 7 of my top tips. It's more just my thoughts on this and ways for you to consider this subject. I am absolutely not an anti-racism teacher whatsoever, and I will direct you to those people that are. However, I just wanted to bring some thoughts up with you. So, number one, your customers really are looking to you right now to know if you stand on the side of anti-racism, and if you say nothing, you are signaling that you do not. Black Lives Matter is not a political issue, it is a human rights issue. It is the civil rights movement of our generation, and it is a very important um, process to be a part of. Just talking about it, however, is not enough. We must educate ourselves with anti racist books, courses, and teachers. We must donate to charities. We must commit to dismantling white supremacy in our businesses and lives. If you do end up ever saying something wrong or making a mistake, it's okay. What you need to do is apologize and just commit to not doing it again. Don't get defensive. Don't talk about your hurt feelings from getting it wrong or talk about your intentions. Lots of people make the mistake of doing this. I've done it in the past, and it is actually harmful. Just cop it on the chin and do better next time. It's far better to make mistakes and learn from them than say nothing at all, and silence really does hurt Black and Indigenous lives. Living outside of the USA does not exempt you from racism. Canada, Australia, UK, Europe all have our own racist past and presence. And here's what I reckon, right? Is so in my business being online, I have a global audience. I sell a lot into the American market, and there's huge benefits to that. But one of the responsibilities of doing that as well is understanding what is happening in the US, and of course, it's racism happens all around the world. I need to understand how it happens in my own country as well. But just because I don't live in the US doesn't make me exempt from understanding the Black Lives Matter movement or how white supremacy is. Really playing out in the US. So we can't be like, oh, yay, I have a global business, but then like, well, I'm not in the US, so I don't have to deal with those issues. One, no, racism is everywhere. And two, we have the responsibility of of understanding where our people are at as well. I am not an expert. I will say this over and over again. I am not a teacher on this subject. I am just a bumbling white idiot. And I got called out a few years ago. I absolutely fucked it up back then. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't have enough information in my brain. I was trying to go like, oh God, sweet Jesus, I really need to learn about this right now and I need to make a response. And I was completely problematic in the way that I tried to fix that situation. I want you to know I am so sorry if I hurt you back then. I'm so grateful for the bravery of those people who did call me out and let me know where I was fucking it up. And I'm grateful for having seen my own mistakes so that I could learn and do better. I really wish that I'd learned about anti racist work long before I did. I want you to know as well, this is just not a passing phase. It's not something that you can just post a black square for social media and then carry on like it's business as usual. And we are being called upon right now to do the work to make our businesses socially conscious. They need to be intersectional in terms of considering LGBTQIA plus, trans and disability rights, anti-racism, environmental impact, and philanthropy as well. If you're thinking to yourself, but that's not in my business plan, why do businesses need to have social consciousness baked into their very DNA? One, your customers are going to increasingly demand it. Two, you need to future proof your business because what's acceptable now, what's acceptable 5 years ago is absolutely radically changing, and it's not going to be okay in the future, and it's not okay now. It never has been okay, but it's just going to increasingly turn that way. If you think of the bullshit that went down in the 50s, um, think about that. We're at that turning phase, and what was okay is no longer okay anymore. And consider it is really is the right and the ethical thing to do here. And not just that, but by doing this social consciousness work, you're not going to do it perfectly, but it is going to make your business stronger for being more diverse, for bringing in opinions and insights from people who don't look the same as you. And we really need to be conscious about doing it, because white supremacy is so baked into our cultures that unless we're really, really fucking careful, we're only going to be learning from people who look like us and surrounding ourselves with people who look like us and hiring people who look like us. So that's where we need to be really expanding our mindsets here, and expanding and really like undigging that the bullshit lies that white supremacy has fed to us. Now, in summary, I want to say this again. I am not an expert. Racial justice work is important for your business and the world at large. I want you to learn from my dumbass mistakes and learn from Black, Indigenous, and people of colour about how to become anti-racist. For further reading and the most useful anti-racist books and courses that I've taken, I started this list a couple of years ago, I think, and I keep on adding to it as I go and as I learn. If you just go to leoniedawson.com/racism, all of them are there. All right, that's it for me. I love you, love you, love you. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba.